Mamamatay akong hindi man lang nakikita ang ningning ng bukang liwayway sa aking bayan. Kayong mga makakakita, salubungin ninyo siya at huwag ninyong kalimutan ang mga tao na lumok sa dilim ng gabi.
What comes to your mind when the name Jose Rizal was mentioned? The courageous author of Noli Me Tangere awakened the consciousness of Filipinos. The hero who was shot at Luneta, and the poet that said, "Whoever knows not how to love his native tongue is worse than any beast or evil-smelling fish." But who is Jose Rizal? What kind of Philippines did he grow up in? What were the ideas and principles that he lived and fought for? What was his true essence?
Jose Rizal is our famous national hero.
Para sa akin, si Jose Rizal ay matapang sapagkat hindi lahat ang may kakayahan na isatinig ang sapat at wasto.
Jose Rizal for me is more than he is our national soul. So I have read Noli and El Filibusterismo, and from his writings pa lang makita gyud na ako nga dako iyang role sa atong history and making of our nation. Dili imposible ma-create ang Filipinas for today. Filipinas will just be a colony of Spain. But with Rizal, with his inspiration, kanang kailangan nga natay reform, he transformed our kanang merely mga insulares, peninsulares o katong mga Indio into a Filipino. So si Rizal for me is the creator for our national identity. He is a creator for the concept of Filipino, and I will not call myself Filipino without Jose Rizal.
So Rizal is an aspiration. He's a great national hero. He's someone to look up to, and he's someone for the youths to have, like, he's like someone that you can actually rely, and you can be inspired with his works and what he has done for the country.
Jose Rizal for me is really the epitome of who a Filipino really is, because until now his lessons, his writings, his life and works are resonating even up until now in the 21st century. So I think Jose Rizal is someone that we should always look back. We should always analyze really, because he had always something to say. He has a lot of something to say, and Rizal should be able to say something, especially in our current world and the Philippines right now.
For me, Jose Rizal is not only our national hero, he is also an inspiration to Filipino writers. Not only Filipino writers, but writers from all over the world.
Up to this day, we still hold in our possession a journal titled Memorias de un Estudiante de Manila, Memories of a Student in Manila. Rizal was 17 years old when he compiled his memories from birth to his first love in this journal. He concealed his identity under the pseudonym P. Jacinto to maintain privacy, but his signature can be found at the end of the document.
Isinilang ako sa Calamba noong Hunyo 19, 1861 sa pagitan ng alas 11 at alas 12 ng gabi. Araw noon ng Miyerkules, at ang aking pagsilang sa daigdig ay muntik nang ikasawi ng aking ina, kung hindi niya naipangako sa mahal na Birhen ng Antipolo na dadalhin ako sa kanyang simbahan.
Jose Rizal's mother was Doña Teodora Alonso, affectionately known as Lolay, while his father was Francisco Mercado.
Hindi ordinaryo ang aking ina. Mahilig siya sa literatura at mas mahusay magsalita ng Espanyol kaysa sa akin. Siya ang aking unang guro.
In a cruel twist of fate, Doña Teodora was not spared from the violence of colonial power. A tragedy occurred that Rizal will never forget.
Ang aming ina ay hindi makatarungan na inaresto. At sino ang gumawa noon? Ang mga taong aming naging kaibigan at itinuring naming bilang mga bisita. Siya ay inakusahan, ipinakulong at pinarusahan para sa isang krimeng hindi niya ginawa. Inakusahan ng aking ina sa umano'y pagtatakang pagpapalason. Ang kanyang pag-aresto ay nag-iwan ng malalim na epekto sa akin. Ito ay nagpalakas ng aking determinasyon na labanan ang kawalang katarungan at pang-aapi.
Despite the trials, Rizal did not give up on his dream of having a good education. 4 months after the martyrdom of Gomburza and with Doña Teodora still in prison, Rizal, who was not yet 11 at that time, was sent to Manila. He entered Ateneo de Manila.
Sa loob ng 5 taon ko sa Ateneo, sinikap kong abutin ang tagumpay sa aking pag-aaral at naging isang magaling na estudyante at leader. Ang aking kahusayan sa iba't ibang larangan tulad ng wika, literatura at pilosopiya ay nagpapakita ng aking talino at sipag sa pag-aaral.
Upon graduating from Ateneo, Rizal carried with him the lessons and triumphs that would serve as the foundation for his future. His time at the school provided him with experiences and knowledge that would prepare him for the challenges of life. As Rizal grew older, the emergence of feelings and love became inevitable. At the age of 16, he experienced his first romance, Segunda Katigbak. But it was hopeless from the very beginning because Segunda was already engaged to her townmate Manuel Luz. Despite the depth of their affection, Jose Rizal and Segunda Katigbak were fated to walk divergent paths, their love overshadowed by the immutable bands of duty and tradition. Fortunately, Rizal's tragic first romance did not affect his studies. Rizal followed his dream of becoming a doctor by studying at the University of Santo Tomas.
Mabuti pang ipagpatuloy na lamang sa ibang bansa ang aking pag-aaral dahil aking nakita sa Universidad ng Santo Tomas ang mga diskriminasyon sa mga Pilipinong mag-aaral na tulad ko. Hindi ko na matiis na inaapi ng mga propesor at mga namumunuan. Higit na makabubuting ipagpatuloy sa ibang bansa ang aking pangarap na isang manggagamot.
In the radiant lands of Spain, Jose Rizal's journey of discovery and struggle began. He will embark on a transformative journey that will shape the course of our Philippine history. Rizal dedicated himself to the studies and exploration of diverse ideas. From Paris, he delved into the French way of living and visited hospitals, observing and studying deceased women. In Berlin from 1885 to 1887, Rizal had profound reasons to stay, each contributing to his growth and mission. In the winter of 1886, Amidst hardship and determination, Jose Rizal embarked on a historic journey of literary revolution.
Isinulong ko ang ideya ng isang nobela tungkol sa Pilipinas. Ngunit walang pakialam ang aking mga kababayan. Sa kabiguan, napagpasahan kong isulat ang nobela ng mag-isa.
Struggling with hunger, illness, and poverty, Rizal poured his soul into the pages of Noli Me Tangere. And here comes a friend, Dr. Maximo Viola from Bulacan, who played a crucial role. With his financial support, the novel's printing became possible. With Viola's help, Rizal found a printing shop in Berlin. The novel was finally ready for publication on March 21, 1887. Noli Me Tangere came off the press, a culmination of Rizal's passion, resilience, and vision. Rizal sent copies of the novel to friends, expressing his optimism amidst anticipated challenges from the government and friars. The dedication of Noli Me Tangere to the Philippines marked Rizal's deep love and commitment to his people. Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere continues to resonate, a timeless testament to the power of words in sparking change. After the publication of Noli Me Tangere, Rizal embarked on a tour of Europe, accompanied by Dr. Maximo Viola. During his travels, Rizal was deeply impressed by art, met with renowned scholars, and explored the rich cultural heritage of Europe. Despite warnings from family and friends about the risks due to Noli Me Tangere, Rizal was determined to return home. One of his primary reasons for returning was to operate on his mother's eyes, showcasing his love and devotion to family. Rizal also sought to understand firsthand how his writings were influencing Filipinos and Spaniards in the Philippines. However, he faced personal disappointment as he was unable to visit Leonor Rivera due to familial objection. Driven by his desire to serve his people and uncover truths, Rizal delved into the realities of Spanish oppression and societal challenges. Jose Rizal's return to the Philippines embodies sacrifice, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of justice and enlightenment. Jose Rizal's journeys offer timeless wisdom that still resonates today. Now, let's embark on a journey through the footsteps of a remarkable man whose experiences continue to inspire generations. From the bustling streets of Hong Kong to the serene landscapes of Japan and the grandeur of Paris, each destination marked a chapter in Rizal's quest for knowledge and justice. Sa kaniyang paglalakbay, ipinakita ni Rizal ang pagtitiis sa dagok ng mga pagsubok, dala-dala ang pambansang obligasyon. Ipinaglalaban niya ang panlipunang katarungan at pantay-pantay na karapatan. And despite the discrimination he endured, Rizal never wavered in his belief that all people are created equal and deserving of respect. He strongly believed in the power of education to bridge divides and unite humanity, showing us the importance of learning from one another and working together for a better future. His interactions with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds, along with his commitment to dialogue and the exchange of ideas, highlight the value of empathy and understanding. His dedication teaches us the significance of embracing diversity and fostering inclusivity in our own lives. In the quiet moments of reflection, Rizal demonstrated the transformative power of knowledge and contemplation. His dedication to continuous learning reminds us that growth and enlightenment are lifelong pursuits, enriching both the individual and society as a whole. Today, the legacy of Jose Rizal lives on in the hearts and minds of people around the world. His courage, intellect, and compassion continue to ignite the flames of hope and resilience in the face of adversity, reminding us that one person truly can make a difference. Jose Rizal's journeys may have taken place centuries ago, but the lessons they impart are as relevant today as they were then. Let us honor his legacy by embracing the spirit of adventure, empathy, and enlightenment that defined his remarkable life. As we walk through the paths of Jose Rizal's journey, let us embrace his timeless wisdom. Let's embody the courage, compassion, and curiosity that propelled Rizal through his trials. His legacy echoes on in our choices today, And now, how will you carry forward his noble journey?
Don Mariano Gomez, Don Jose Burgos, and Don Jacinto Zamora, or also known as Gumburza, were the three secular friars who were executed by Garrote in Bagumbayan Field on the 20th of February 1872. Gumburza were accused. Their trial happened in just less than a month, and they were found guilty of allegedly orchestrating the Cavite Mutiny of 1872 and charged with treason and sedition by Spanish authorities. As a result of the death of Gumburza, the Filipinos awakened their minds, strong spirits of anger and resentment. Dr. Jose Rizal was one of many Filipinos who became aware of the cruelty and injustices perpetrated by Spanish rule at a young age. Rizal, in all years of his studies, travels, and labors in foreign lands, he had not forgotten the martyrdom of the secular fathers Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, which passionately related to him when he was a mere lad in Calamba. He dedicated El Filibusterismo to them.
Rizal indeed was a spokesperson for racial egalitarianism, fighting for what Fanon called the wretched of the earth, for George Floyd and other victims of systemic racism and white supremacy. We know, of course, that the single historical event that changed Rizal's life was the 1872 execution of Burgos, Gomez, and Zamora, a year after the Paris Commune. The impact of that event, a communal event, was conveyed to him by his brother Pasiano, which is why the Philly was dedicated to the three martyrs.
Taong 1890, dito ko sinimulang isulat ang aking pangalawang nobela na El Filibusterismo sa London, United Kingdom. At di nagtagal, pag-abot ng March 29, 1891, natapos kong isulat ang ikalawang nobela at nakahanap ako ng palimbagan sa Ghent, Belgium. At ang manuscript ay ipinadala ko sa aking kaibigan na si Jose Alejandrino. August 6, 1891, nang bigla ay tinigil ko ang pagpapalimbag at naisip na lamang na sunugin ang libro kagaya ng muntikan ko ring ginawa sa aking Noli Me Tangere. Dahil nabuso na ako ng pantustos sa pagpapalimbag, subalit dumating ang tulong ng aking kaibigan na si Valentin Ventura. Pinadalhan ako ni Ventura ng sapat na pera para sa pagpapalimbag ng aking nobela. Kaya noong September 1891, naipalimbag ko nga ang nobela. Ngunit sa gitna ng pagpapatuloy nito ay kinulang pa rin sa pera. Kaya binawasan ko ang kabanata ng libro na mula 44 hanggang 38 na lang. Ito ay aking ipinalimbag sa F. Mayer Lou Press, kung saan hulugan ang paraan ng aking pagbabayad.
So as we have said, Jose Rizal was met with financial challenges in publishing El Filibusterismo. But ayun na nga, sa tulong ng kanyang mga kaibigan, sila Jose Maria Basa saka si Sixto Lopez, nasuportahan yung pagsusulat ni Jose Rizal. And then of course, dumating din sa kanya yung tulong na pinadala ni Valentin Ventura na tumulong upang makapagbigay ng pondo doon sa printing ng El Filibusterismo. So, Jose Rizal, he was able to finally publish yung copies, yung first copies ng El Filibusterismo, at ibinigay niya yun sa mga kaibigan niya na tumulong sa kanya. At yung si Valentin Ventura, as a way of saying thank you, Jose Rizal gave him the manuscript, original manuscript, and of course, a signed printed copy of the book. So, sinabi ni Jose Rizal, yung kanyang pananaw tungkol sa isang pilibustero ay iba. Tungkol daw, ang pilibustero daw ay tumutukoy sa mga tao na mabubuting mga citizens, good citizens. Sila yung may pagmamahal daw sa bansa, sila daw yung may pagmamahal sa pagbabago, at sila daw yung may pagmamahal sa pagkatuto, sa awareness, sa pagkaroon ng nasyonalismo.
Ang nobelang El Filibusterismo ay inialay ko sa tatlong paring martir na sina Padre Mariano Gomez, Padre Jose Burgos, at Padre Jacinto Zamora bilang pag-alala sa kanilang masalimuot na kinhahinatnan bilang biktima ng kawalan ng katarungan.
Sa atong system kay di ba sa atong namatay government na na-apply like na-rich, na-poor, and middle class, and then dira makita nga sa mga rich o sa poor, and then usapod ang kuan ana ang murag ni kuan ana ang government like dili kay nila mga kuan wala dali mga kuan din sa poor nga na ang murag mas na something pag sa kanang kuan like kalong food nga kuan is mas talaga rin sa, like, di ba, ang Spanish is more on Catholic, and then, lahat hapon na nakaan siya na, influensyahan siya sa ato ang religion.
So, nag-create si Rizal of mga characters na which mo represent sa ato act of sa Spaniards. And na siya depiction sila mga characters like maras lang kani siya mga character kay mo describe siya sa Spanish mga kuan din inanilang attributes and characteristics so mga kuan siya relevant gyapon siya because even now kaya ato gina siyang gistudihan mga lagi na sa high school and college mga kuan journey na to sa student kay studihan din na to ang mga work niya sa why nanong behind kita sa other nations because of the fact na kanang kwanta behind kita sa globalization so for me kanang how I would respond to this problem is that we need better leaders.
Rizal's vision for the radical transformation of society depended not only on education but on the ripeness of time when the people would have the will to unleash their energies. Rizal, a savvy propagandist, cherished the idea that his words had the power to create disturbance and change in those who read them. El Filibusterismo was a work that gazed into the future. The decades that have passed since then have proven the clarity of Rizal's vision. We are now living in that far-off future that Rizal knew he would never see, even had he lived to old age, rather than being executed at Bagong Bayan.
Jose Rizal's second homecoming through the Philippines is the way for founding the secret society named La Liga Filipina. But who would have thought that his second homecoming would be the reason why he got arrested and spent his remaining years in the Pitan because he was accused of owning the printed leaflets that did not belong to him? Spending his life in the Pitan gave Rizal a way to study and achieve a lot of things. He helps the people in the Pitan improve their way of life by doing a lot of projects that will benefit the residents of the said place. After all he's been through, he never fails to amaze others by doing his best to improve their lives. And he also shares his knowledge and educates others. Rizal's courage does not mean that he has to be part of the Katipunan to be called a strong person. He declines to join because he is aware that the group has nothing compared to the Spaniard. He is optimistic and thinks about results before taking any action. Rizal is lonely in the Pitan and longing for someone who can be with him whenever he's lonely. And there's Joseph and Bracken, the last girl in Rizal's life who became his wife. The monotone life of Rizal became colorful, and he lived happily with her during his exile in the Pitan. When Rizal is no longer an exile, he travels to different places that lead him to be arrested in Barcelona. The last homecoming of Rizal is the saddest return to his beloved native land. This was also the time he wrote the manifesto for his people. He experienced the injustice and misrule of the Spanish and was considered guilty before the actual trial. Rizal was put into Fort Santiago to prepare for his execution. While he was in Fort Santiago waiting for his death, he was busy meeting his visitors and at the same time writing letters to his family and friends. He also wrote his farewell poem.
Consummatum est! Liberado!
Rizal was shot in the back, and his death brought joy to those who were against Rizal's fight for freedom. But the aftermath of Hero Martyr's death destroyed Spanish rule in the Philippines because of the work of Rizal, which awakened the nationalism of Filipinos. And because of this, Rizal proves to everyone that the pen is mightier than the sword.
Masama bang lumaban para sa kalayaan? Masama bang ipagtanggol ang bayan laban sa pang-aabuso at pang-aapi? Masama bang magsalita para sa mga takot, mga tuwiran? Kasalanan bang ilantal ang mga katiwalian na nangyayari sa bansa? Krimen bang may tuturing ang pagbabayani sa sariling bansa? Ikaw, may nagawa ka na ba para sa bayan?
Sa storage ang buong
Dapat chicks ka, dapat daga ka.
Papa Jesus naman yun.
Man, national hero. Dili, buwang na yung enemy ko ba?
Wala pa! Wala pa daw, nag-zoom pa po sa kuhaan.
Gay!